We have some live breaking news for you today, Nez Nation. The Biden FBI has been caught spying on Republican senators, 8 as of right now. According to Senator Chuck Grassley, they are calling this way worse than Watergate. I mean, I think Watergate was way overblown, out of proportion. As a matter of fact, let me know what you think of that in the comments down below. I'm going to share with you all the details, but first, here is Senator Chuck Grassley in a live press conference that just happened moments ago, breaking this huge bombshell. Check this out.
Solicitation of these telephone records, which I think emphasizes the political weaponization that was behind all this effort. And we're still getting more information, but we've released some records today, and I'll let Senator Johnson take over from here, and then each one of you colleagues can join in when you want to, whatever you want to say.
First of all, I want to thank Senator Grassley. It is because of his relentless advocacy for whistleblowers that a lot of this information is surfacing right now. We wouldn't know about the list of 100 Republican entities that were targeted by Jack Smith's Arctic Frost investigation. I don't think we know about this as well. So we need whistleblowers. I think Dan Bongino and other folks in the FBI, they don't know where all the records are hidden. They still don't. They're not necessarily getting 100% cooperation. But this is outrageous what has happened. I just want to give you a timeline of this. I think you've already got the FBI sheet that shows the number of members of Congress that were targeted. Representative Kelly, Senators Graham, Hagerty, Hawley, Sullivan, Tuberville, myself, Senator Lummis, and Blackburn. Now, this memo was dated September of 2023. To put it all into context, the Mar-a-Lago raid occurred in August of 2022. Jack Smith announced the indictments against President Trump in August of 2023. So this is almost 2 months later. They're casting this net, this fishing expedition against members of the Senate and the House. Again, I've been investigating this with Senator Grassley. This doesn't surprise me, but it should shock every American of what the Biden administration has done. And by the way, this is the first time I was targeted by the FBI. Under the Obama administration, the same thing happened to both Senator Grassley and I. As part of the Foreign Influence Task Force, we were giving a briefing to try and convince us that the Hunter Biden laptop was no big deal. Basically, trying to throw us off the track. So this is major corruption that's being revealed inside the Obama and Biden Department of Justice and the FBI. There's no predicate. There's no reason for this other than a fishing expedition, which again should outrage and shock every American.
I'm going to show you that memo in just a second, but isn't this just same old with the murderous, evil Democrat Party that we have right now, holding sway over millions and millions of Americans, all backed up by the propagandist media apparatus that is the corporate press. They were the ones who were claiming this is all political weaponization going after Comey. It is all political weaponization going after Letitia Big Shame James, Fannie Willis, Jack Smith, and all the rest of them. They were the ones claiming it's all. You're going after Adam Schiff. This is political weaponization. In the confirmation hearing against Kash Patel, are you going to promise us that you're not going to turn the DOJ and the Department of Federal Bureau of Investigations into a political weaponization utility for President Trump? These guys have been doing this forever. We saw what happened in 2024. They went after him with everything, and they even threw the kitchen sink at him. Their hypocrisy knows no bounds. Here's the memo. Check this out. So Senator Chuck Grassley posted this on X today, saying, this document shows the Biden FBI spied on 8 of my Republican Senate colleagues during its Arctic Frost investigation into, quote, election conspiracy, end quote. Arctic Frost later became Jack Smith's elector case against Trump. Biden FBI weaponization equals worse than Watergate. And you can see here, I mean, can you imagine, by the way, before I get into this document, can you imagine the amount of scrapping and scurrying like little cockroaches Christopher Wray, probably helped by Comey as well, and all the other corrupt FBI and intelligence officers and officials, when they finally cemented in their brains that President Trump won the election, they probably scrambled day and night to hide everything, burn everything, shred. It was probably a shred fest like we've never seen, and all to avoid any sort of prosecution. Can you just imagine what they did when Trump? I mean, I just can't even imagine. So the reason I say that is because you heard Senator Johnson say that, even Dan Bongino and Cash Patel, they still can't, they want to encourage whistleblowers. They still can't find all the documents. They still don't have all the information, all the corruption, all the swamp draining vermin that have completely obliterated any integrity that these intelligence agencies have. So here's the document. You can see the date is September 27th, 2023. You heard the discrepancies in dates of Jack Frost's indictment, the raid on Mar-a-Lago. And if we go down a little bit further, sensitive investigation, Arctic Frost, this is the case ID number. Some of the stuff is redacted. And then you'll see the names there. FBI Special Agent Redacted conducted preliminary toll analysis on limited tolls records associated with the following U.S. senators. You'll see Mike Kelly, Lindsey Graham, Bill Hagerty, Josh Hawley, who we love, Dan Sullivan, Tommy Tuberville, Ron Johnson, Cynthia Loomis, and Marsha Blackburn. This is concrete, evidentiary, substantive proof. Anytime they say political weaponization against Trump and this America First cabinet and America First agenda and policy, anytime they say that, you need to share this video because this is actual proof right here. Now, the tragedy is, what exactly is going to come of this? President Nixon, who was having an amazing first term, probably going to win another second term if this debacle hadn't happened to him. He got us out of Vietnam. He ended the Vietnam War. He opened up relations with China, the first president ever to visit communist China. He created the EPA, amongst a million other things that he did. And then this Watergate scandal. Oh, they took some pictures inside of a building. They're spying on the DNC. They're spying on the Democrats. Okay, what does that? I mean, fine. Like, slap him on the hand. This guy was forced to resign. The first president in the history of our country was forced to resign. The amount of corruption that we know about these hypocrites, and we still haven't seen a single one of them put in handcuffs. When are we going to see some accountability? When are we going to see some action? When are we going to start seeing some arrests, some charges? I want them sitting in front of a judge. Anything at this point. Are you with me on that? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what should happen here. Let me know what you think. By the way, they all watch this show. All of these, Caroline Leavitt, Stephen Miller, their whole office, the White House staff, congressmen, congresswomen, they all watch this show. Senators, let them know in the comments what you want to see, America. This is your chance to be heard yet again. We made a resounding echo that was heard across all this great land of ours, the United States of America, on November 5th, 2024. But now I'm giving you another opportunity. Let them know what you think. Let me know down below. Okay, I've got a couple of classic clips to play for you. But first, we have to talk about this. The worst mayor in the history of Chicago, literally he has the worst approval ratings of any single mayor of all time. Brandon Johnson just announced that he signed an executive order creating, quote, ICE-free zones to ban ICE agents from city property. Watch this.
Today, we are signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out-of-control administration. The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
Imagine if they worked this hard. Imagine if they fought as hard as they do for criminals Imagine if they put some of that energy into fighting for actually hardworking, law-abiding American citizens. Could you just imagine how fantastically strong, talk about the golden era, how amazing this country would be. But no, what do? It's the year of our Lord, 2025, and we have elected representatives of the people, what a crock, who are literally ordering. You saw the video I posted yesterday, ordering their local officials to not cooperate with ICE, protect criminals, gangsters, terrorists, and murderers. It makes no sense. Here's Trump's response to that ICE-free zone, which is just preposterous. Watch this.
We have a new thing now. When you look at it's called crime. It's called absolute, as Biden would say. Well, I won't say what he would have said. Remember when he said it's a 3-letter word? No. Remember that one? Everyone was saying, what was that all about? He probably meant exclamation point or something after the word. But this is a 5-letter word, crime, C-R-I-M-E. And we want to put it out and are putting it out, and they don't. They don't seem to care about it, but they do care. I believe that Pritzker and this mayor of Chicago that like to say about we have it, they don't have it under control. Not only is it not under control, it's the opposite. And I believe they're afraid, they're scared for their lives. I believe that the Portland people are scared. You look at what's happened with Portland over the years, it's a burning hellhole. And then you have a judge that lost her way, that tries to pretend that like there's no problem. Actually, she's not even saying that. There's a huge problem in Portland. I'll tell you what the problem is, crime. Okay, crime. It's a huge problem in Chicago. It's called crime. And we want to put out the crime, and they want to inflame the crime. And why they want to, I don't know. But it could be that Pritzker is scared for his life.
Just this past weekend, my fellow Americans and global citizens, Chicago had over 54 to be exact, homicides and murders. 54 in just 3 days. And Pritzker and Mayor Johnson say, hey, it's like a warm summer breeze here in downtown Chicago and all the nice areas of Chicago. There's no crime. There's no problem. There's no need for this while residents suffer. Shame on you. And the same goes for Portland. And here's more proof of the absolute out of touch, narcissistic elitism of these phony leftists. Check out this that just came out in Variety today. George Clooney from the Holly Weirdo cabal. Watch this. So George Clooney refused to raise his kids in Hollywood, so he moved his entire family to a farm in France, saying, quote, I felt like they were never going to get a fair shake at life in Los Angeles. The kids are not on their iPads, you know, they have dinner with grown-ups and have to take their dishes in. They have a much better life. I was worried about raising our kids in LA and the culture of Hollywood. I felt like they were never going to get a fair shake. France, they kind of don't give an S about fame. I don't want them to be walking around and worried about paparazzi. I don't want them to be compared to somebody else's famous kids. Wait a minute. Hold up. This is the same guy who said there's no crime in LA. This is the same guy that says Newsom and Bass are doing an amazing job. This is the same guy that says that everything that Trump's doing to help get rid of criminals and deport all the illegals is fascist and a constitutional crisis and a threat to democracy. This is the same guy that told Biden he's a vegetable and should drop out and helped Obama and the rest of the establishment execute a sitting coup on a president and circumvent the electoral process and anoint DEI hire Kamala as the candidate, which nobody voted for. And now you're saying, wouldn't it be nice if we could all just move to France? I live in California. Yeah, I'd like to buy a farm in France. These out of touch all their phony outrage, all this phony anger about social issues and fighting for, underprivileged. It's all absolute B. I love Los Angeles. It's great. I walk down the streets all the time. I don't worry about. They're just so full of it. Absolutely everything that comes out of their mouths is just raw sewage of lies. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all just buy a farm in France and raise our kids and say, must be nice? No, we can't all do that. Thanks, George. Thanks for playing. Get the hell out of here. We don't want to see you anymore. Speaking of phony outrage, there's a new poll that was posted recently. Should the Democrats end the shutdown by accepting and continuing a CR at current levels? And you can see 65% accept a continuing resolution at current spending levels, while 35% say hold out until they get additional funds for Obamacare. So it looks like America's sick and tired of the Schumer Democrat shutdown, which is now going on 5 days and some change. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, I got one more clip. And speaking of ICE-free zones and illegal criminals and aliens, I've got the perfect clip to end this video on. It's our man, Stephen Miller, who absolutely lambasts this CNN reporter for asking the dumbest question, in his words, by the way, and I think it's fair to say that's a great assessment. It's a completely dumb question by a CNN host asking him about immigration and ICE and what they're doing. Watch this.
Is it the case that, as Pritzker frames it, you are profiling brown people, that this immigration crackdown is designed to go after people of color?
It's such a, oh, what a dumb question. The illegal aliens who are here are taking jobs away from blacks, they're taking jobs away from whites, they're taking jobs away from Latinos, they're taking their health benefits away, they're taking their school slots away, and of course in many cases they're committing heinous crimes. We cannot have a system of law in this country that privileges illegal aliens over American citizens, and that's what they're doing. You know it, and I know it.
So that's not exactly a no, Stephen. Can you just unequivocally state that the immigration policy... I said it's a dumb question. Okay.
Well,
I appreciate that. But
and it's a dumb question.
So no, this policy is not designed to... I thought when I said it was a dumb question, it meant no. Well, I just want to be clear and precise. I appreciate you trying to qualify my questions, but nevertheless, I think it's a fair one that a lot of people have.
My full answer is no. That is a lie, and it's a dumb question.
It's a completely dumb question. But you know what? On a serious note, I love Stephen Miller. He's so entertaining. He's so on point, like time and time again. But you know what? On a serious note, I've talked about this nation. You know I've talked about this. This spooky nomenclature and verbiage that they keep spewing. Well, look what they're doing. They're sweeping brown and black people off the streets. These crazy, terrifying, horrific men in masks and unarmed. The fact that CNN is giving credence to that utter despicable display of it's literally propaganda. That's the personification of propaganda, because that's exactly the opposite of what's happening. Stephen Miller had every right to call it dumb. As a matter of fact, shame on you, CNN. Shame on you, woke media propagandists, for continuing to give significance to this mental disease called leftist liberalism. This absolute anti-American faction of radical communist socialists who want to destroy our country, who are so afraid of facing the free market and free enterprise, they will do anything. They'll sacrifice all of our lives so that they can retain power and never have to get a real job ever in their lives. That's a capital T truth, capital F fact. I can't wait to get your thoughts on everything that we talked about. Let me know, please, what you think in the comments down below. Tap that thumbs up if you love America. It doesn't cost you a thing. You can even do it on your TV. If you're watching on TV with your remote, just tap that thumbs up. It helps us out immeasurably. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here, just in case you missed them. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's free, for crying out loud. It takes you a nanosecond. Do it right now. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.